All right, let's move on now because there's some trouble brewing. It started brewing a year ago. It's something that we both saw before the season. And god damn it, why in the hell can't they fix it? Are we the only people on the planet who figured out that Baltimore needed more pitching? I mean, this is an absolute joke. If you take a look at the numbers, they are digging themselves into a hole, and it's completely unnecessary because there's no team in the American League that is all that good. They're in the AL East. Who in the AL East terrifies you? Nobody,
Yankees.
in my opinion.
Yankees. Absolutely.
They terrify you?
I said it before the year. I said this year. You should terrify you. You got your number 4 hitter hitting, or 3-hole hitter hitting 415.
Okay, I understand.
And you got an ace that's pitching like an ace, and you got that's a Yankees are a very good team.
Okay, you can. I still
you don't believe it. You've never believed it before the season, but yeah, again, Yankees terrify me. But outside of that, no. No one else. The Rangers are good. No one in the Central terrifies me at all. Tigers are good. Royals will be better. But the Orioles are so bad. 18th in hitting right now, basically dead last in pitching. I'll say this. There's so much criticism on the pitching side.
Right.
Rightfully so. But I don't think that's the one place they actually went and got guys. That is the only place that they actually went and signed players. They brought in Charlie Morton. They brought in Sagano, again, who hasn't been pitching bad. I mean, he's had 3.5.
No, Sagano's been fine. But
Sagano's been good. Like Charlie Morton, though, like he's got a 10. Dean Kramer's got a 7. You're looking at this like Brandon Young, who's been up. Cade Povich, who's been obviously up for these things, and like they've 6.5, 7, almost a 7. And now you're sitting there with Bradish, Eflin hurt, Grayson Rodriguez hurt, Trevor Rogers hurt, like Tyler Wells. Like they've had, again, like Tyler Wells last year, but they had guys, and Bradish last year, but they had guys, and they brought guys in. Here, my bigger problem is that when you lose a guy like a Burns, who is a Cy Young winner, absolute dominant force last year for you in the rotation, the force the year before that, you lost your best hitter from a power standpoint in Santander, and from a veteran standpoint, you lost the 2 biggest leaders in your team, in your clubhouse, and your bullpen has just been like blah at best. What we were screaming that they needed veterans on this team. They needed some guys that were leadership type guys, the guys that could go in the lineup and add some oomph. You can't, what was it, 44 home runs that they lost in Santander, and you didn't add a single, like, basically home run. Tyler O'Neill was your guy.
Yeah.
Like Tyler O'Neill coming in. I understand you have all the prospects in the world, and that's going to give time. The problem is the combination of prospects and pitching staff and everything. The window, like, is like kind of slowly here. The problem is they're not developing to a level matching that window.
Correct.
They're taking longer. Like Jackson Holiday is like really blah, like at best, and I get it. Like this is his second year, but like we want to see some growth here, and you're seeing some guys. Adley's taking a step back. Gunner's taking a step back. Maybe it's a group thought thing, but like there's a big difference between like when we had Gunner and Adley, and then you had Santander behind him hitting 44. Like those guys, like Soto screamed it. You get more pitches.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I was like, you're seeing in these lineups, guys getting more pitches based upon their lineup and how they're constructed. But like, if I'm sitting there and I got Tyler Hearn as like who I'm scared behind Adley Rutschman, I am not pitching to Gunnar Henderson or Adley Rutschman. Cedric Mullins needs a lot more credit for as good as he is.
Yes.
Like, and we've talked about this. Like Cedric Mullins has been a stud for a long time.
And we never talk about him. He's so underappreciated in baseball.
Absolutely. But when you're looking at this, like this lineup, I'm like, nah, okay, after Adley and Gunnar, I know they can hurt me. But after them, next. Like, okay, Tyler O'Neill, unless it's opening day, next. Like after that, I don't understand. When no one understood the lineup construction. And like again, my boy Kobe Mayo, let's go. But like at some point, like trade some of these guys. But like if I'm sitting there and I'm another GM and you're telling me you're going to trade Jackson Holiday to me, I'm like, for what?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like I get it, the promise of something, but like sometimes you just sit back and go, too late, dude.
You know what? Mike Elias's new name is the Squirrel. All right. The GM of the Orioles is a squirrel because he takes all these prospects. He thinks they're nuts. He shoves them in his mouth. He's got a mouthful of freaking nuts
Hold on to him.
and holds on to them. So now you have this window where you have a whole bunch of young players and you can trade them and get something good. And I know you're worried about, oh, what if this guy is the next Trout? What if this guy's the next Ellie De La Cruz? But what if he's the next Brett Beatty? What if he's the next, I'm just thinking about all the
I understand prospects are only valuable to bring in value to your organization. Okay.
Yeah.
Prospects bring in value, whether it's them or whether it's somebody else. But okay, let's just say they're Juan Soto. Let's just say Jackson Holiday was Juan Soto. Kobe Mayo might be Juan Soto, which is the last player that we can really look back and say massive prospect and traded. Get it. He was traded once he was already won a World Series, but he's been traded several times. And so when we look at that and say the Nationals built an organization on getting rid of Juan Soto. And you got that. You have players that are prospect level as that. And so why don't you build your organization off of some of these guys? The whole point is cool. What if Kobe Mayo is a great player? Amazing. But sometimes you can get the great player for the prospect. And it's if Kobe Mayo is a great player one day, but you can go get the great player. You can guarantee you the great player. Yeah. That's what I sometimes lose as a GM when I'm trying to put myself in the mindset is I'll take the great player for the prospect of a great player. I'd rather have the great player for less control than cool. I'll get 6 years of control out of Kobe Mayo. Maybe he's the great player, but I have the great player. I'm winning baseball games. If this was the Phillies and you change GMs, right? Dombrowski would have they would be a World Series champion right now.
Yeah.
In my mind, they would sell out every game. They would be the prime of the American League. They'd be 15-9 right now in the AL East. They'd be leading the league in everything. And you wouldn't have any prospects left. But they'd be World Series champions probably. Maybe last year, maybe next year, maybe the year after that, they'd be World Series champions.
And everybody was sitting there last year making fun of me when I said that, oh, maybe, just maybe, and I know this would never happen, maybe Baltimore should think about trading 2 or 3 of these prospects or Gunnar Henderson to the Pirates to get Paul Skeens. Now, I know that's never going to happen. Skeens is not going anywhere for a while. He's the face of that franchise. He's what brings butts into the seats. But you have all these prospects. So now I look at Mike Elias, the GM of the Orioles. Then I go across the country, and I look at Jerry Dipoto. And what does Jerry Dipoto have? A whole bunch of pitchers. A whole ton of pitchers, no prospects that can possibly hit anytime soon. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, wait, maybe this is one of those old TV shows. I remember there was this Simpson thing where, they had the big brother who was complaining, well, I have this roast and I have no one to eat it. And then the little brother sitting there, and I'm so hungry. And you're like, he's got a roast. You're hungry. Get together. What the hell's wrong with you? Do we have to lock these 2 idiots in a closet somewhere so they can make a deal? It just makes all the sense in the world. You have Castillo, you have Wu, you have Kirby, you have all these pitchers, but you have no hitting whatsoever. And
let me cut you off there. They have hitting. They actually have decent hitting. So here's the problem. Still the same problem they've had is T-Mobile Ballpark. That's their problem. That is so when they go on the road, at home, their batting average is 187. Mm-hmm. On the road, it's 270. That's their problem, is that they just get trashed at home. Dude, that is 100-point swing at home versus the road. And this is the Colorado type of swing. Their slugging is 100 difference. Their OPS is 170, 180 difference. 180 OPS difference between road and home. So it's which is really funny, which their home runs are actually not crazy off because they still need 2 more games at home to match their road. Oh, sorry, they need 2 more road games to match home. Sorry, I had that backwards. So it's actually, yeah, it's much better on the road. So their biggest problem is T-Mobile. So to me, a lot of people talked about the backdrop, and again, sorry, the pitching numbers match the hitting numbers. So maybe it's actually not the greatest pitching staff in the world. Maybe they just pitch at home, because like at home they have a 3 ERA. On the road, they have a 5.11.
Okay, so
it's a home ballpark advantage. So a lot of times we sit there, and I've done this. I've been one to blame this. I'm going, dude, 1 for 5. This is the best pitching staff in all of baseball at home, which happens to be everybody's a Cy Young pitcher in Seattle. It doesn't matter what team you're on. When you walk into Seattle, you're a Cy Young style pitcher. So there is a problem with T-Mobile, a massive, massive problem with T-Mobile that they need to figure out. Because look at this. Day games, they're batting 290. Night games, 143. They play in a dome. So even day games sometimes are night games, right? So basically, because it's covered. So there's an issue with the lights. There's an issue with the backstop. There's an issue with something about that stadium that absolutely needs to be changed and just blown up. Start over. Blow up the whole thing as from a hitter standpoint, and start over, because these type of numbers and stuff, like Julio Rodriguez away is batting, which is the crazy thing, is batting 213 and batting 199 out and 191 at home. Again, that's not that like he isn't really any better anywhere right now.
Right.
But he has started to swing better lately, 231 in the last 7 games.
We'll talk about Julio next, because I do want to discuss Julio in depth.
Oh, perfect. But like this Seattle team, it is a stark contrast home or away, and they need to address this. And this is something that just needs to be slapped across everybody's faces and say, wake up, because this is a different team, home versus away. And it's at some point you got to agree it's not the players. Because the players are good. The moment they go on the road and you look at this lineup, they start hitting. Like Julio's like whatever, we'll talk about him. But Polanco hits, Cal Raleigh hits, Rosarena hits, Rayleigh hits. Like everybody hits in the lineup when they're on the road. So that's something where I would, if I'm a GM, going, he's actually made the right decisions.
Then maybe
it's a stadium.
Well, okay. Then the general manager, last time I checked, is in charge of the whole facility. Correct?
No, the team president, but I know what you're saying.
Okay, well, the GM should at least at that point be able to realize that, hey, this isn't the right team for the stadium that I have.
It's not the right stadium for anybody. That's the problem, is everybody sucks there. Everybody sucks when they go to Seattle. Everybody, except for the pitchers. Like, all the pitchers do well.
All right, so if that's the case, then you know that the pitchers do well as a result of the stadium. Get a lesser pitcher, trade one of those pitchers while their value is super high, and get yourself a couple of great young prospects from Baltimore.
Now we're talking. That's baseball now. Now you say, so it's the Coors Field effect. It doesn't matter who you pitch, right? Like you can find an average pitcher and he becomes really good in Seattle. Now go get the best hitters and become average. So if you're average in Seattle, you're going to be the best Seattle baseball team of all time. Because like when you go on the road, you're going to see these roads, like they're going to be hitting 310 on the road. And so that's something they have to figure out. And I agree with you. Take some of these dudes and maybe like take a Woo, right? Take a Woo and move them. Take a Bryce Miller and say, okay, cool. Give me Kobe Mayo. Give me some
Castillo.
Yeah, I would Castillo in a heartbeat now, again, contract-wise and all that.
Right.
That sort of stuff.
But yeah, you got Kobe Mayo. You have Jordan Westberg. You have Heston Kjerstad. All of those guys should be available. None of them are over-the-top Bryce Harper type, young prospects. Get one of those guys, put them in that lineup, see what you got, and then you're going to put a replacement player pitcher.
Then we're going to sit there and go, God, they suck. They couldn't make it as a big leaguer because they go to Seattle and they're going to be hitting 220.
But at least they're making an attempt.
Yeah, well, I understand it, but I do think he's done an incredible job of building a good team. I just think we are grading them against everybody else when you look at their disadvantage at home when they're actually a very competitive team. and especially when they go on the road, they are, if not one of the best teams in baseball. Like from a team average, let's look at this. If they were hitting 270, right, on the road, they would be leading the league in hitting if they hit 270 at home.
Which is so sad that batting
Which is
average means nothing anymore.
Crazy, but they would be, the Chicago Cubs are hitting 265, leading Major League Baseball. They would be leading Major League Baseball if they just did their road average. That, to me, is a very good baseball team and a very good offense. It's just half their games are at home and they're hitting one whatever.
Right. Well, bottom line is these two teams need to get together, in my opinion. They are the perfect trade partners. I don't know if these two GMs hate each other. I have no idea. But somebody get them on the phone. Make a deal. It only makes all the sense in the world. And Baltimore, you are wasting an amazing opportunity. I don't know why you let Santander out the door. I understand Corbin Burns wanted to go to Arizona. I totally get that. But you needed to get another pitcher, and you needed to get that leadership big time bat that you lost with Santander. I just don't understand what they did. They had a window. To me, nobody in the American League East is terrifying. Okay. The Yankees are good, but they're not terrifying. They're not going to run away with it. They're not winning 110 games. Go.
Did you hear, like, they got new ownership? Everybody's all excited, money through the gills. Yeah. Did you ever hear their name in, I understand this is old ownership, did you hear their name in on Judge?
No.
Did you hear their name in on and I get Correa, like this is Correa. Right.
No.
But he was the dude a couple years. Did you hear their name on Bregman?
No, they have all the money in the world and they're doing nothing with it.
Did you hear their name on Soto?
No.
Did you hear their name on Ohtani?
No, but here's the thing. I believe that's a direct result of their GM. I don't think he wants those guys. He's always been that guy that wants the young player. I want the prospect. I want to hold on to him. I need nuts in my mouth. That's what I think.
If you're just watching right now, you didn't get the reference. It's like it's the reference about a squirrel holding on the nuts.
Yes.
And so I to me is yes. I wonder how much of a mandate there is from team and understanding that there's going to be a lot of money coming out the door soon with all these prospects. You don't know all that, but at the end of the day, like, you got to hear their name in on some of these guys. Like, I didn't even hear their name in on Burns. I didn't even hear their name in on some of these Santander.
Nobody.
Like, there's guys, their own guys, I didn't hear their name in on, at least enough talk like nationally that they're really legit on some of these guys. But like, to me, I just don't even understand it. Like, how do you see that team and not like think Soto would have fit perfect? Like, you're losing your right fielder, Juan Soto, American East guy, up and coming team. Like, you want to sell him.
Taking him away from your division rival.
Well, yeah, and one of his big questions, and we knew this from the Blue Jays interview, I think it was, he was asking teams, where do they see themselves in 5 years? Where do they see themselves 7 years? From a prospect standpoint, from a development standpoint. Dude, they had the easiest sell in all of baseball, like on a prospect standpoint. Yeah. Them versus the Mets, from a prospect standpoint, like it's night and day.
Right.
Dodgers are the only ones that might have even competed on that level.
Although the Mets did buy a pretty decent farm system when they traded Verlander and Scherzer. They did.
But not the Orioles.
No,
right? And like not some of these other teams, like not even remotely close. And so that's the Orioles like should have at least been in conversation. And there's no way the Blue Jays should have been able to outbid them for at least on a Soto level.
All right. Last thing on this topic. Gun to your head right now. Do you trade Jackson Holliday for Gilbert?
Oh, if I'm who?
Either one. Start from the Blue Jays.
Okay, start from
the Blue Jays. Baltimore.
From Blue Jays standpoint, yes, I trade them. I try to get from the Orioles. Am I trading for? Yes. If I'm the Mariners, probably no. I don't, guys. I'm crazy, and I understand this. I have not seen him break out yet to a level that Logan Gilbert can just maintain on an everyday basis. I haven't seen it yet. I need to see something more. Like, I need to see more for Logan Gilbert, right?
If it was Jackson Holliday and Heston Kjerstad for Logan Gilbert and a AA player.
Yeah, done. I'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Now at that level, now I'm
the bottom line is there's something there. You can make a deal. Those two teams have something.
Yes, 100%. There's something there. There's something there. There's something there for both teams. There's pitching, hitting, good match.